Hello, I'm David Thomas. For the past year, I've been leading Navy's contribution to the Strategic Reform Program, or SRP. Our challenge is to help Navy and the ADF as a whole find $20 billion in savings over the next 10 years. This will fund capabilities coming online as a result of the White Paper. Some of you may have already sat through SRP briefings and thought that this doesn't really mean anything to you. Think again. It's only right that Navy and all of Defence be held to account by government for achieving reform. We will achieve the savings we need by changing the way that we all do business. That means that each and every one of us has to change our mindset and start thinking in particular about our organisational performance by challenging old ways of doing business, identifying opportunities to innovate, fix problems and take action, drive decision making down and be cost conscious. We need to understand the cost of doing business. All the decisions that you make, must be based on value for money. Frankly, it's the same attitude that you'd use when putting together your own family's budget. We have to work smarter and act more responsibly with the money we have. The good news is that the New Generation Navy program has equipped us well for reform. Our Navy signature behaviours provide a great way in which we can work together to deliver on strategic reform. The NGN Leadership Program will ensure our leadership is effective and appropriate. If we do this right, we'll all benefit. The changes that we make now will lead to smarter ways of doing business and provide elbow room for other things into the future. But as with any reform program, it can be hard to tell fact from fiction. This program is designed to tackle the rumours head on. And as you watch, I urge you to think carefully about how you can help make SRP the success that it must be. Thanks a lot.
G'day, I'm Damien Hanson.
And I'm Leanne Hinton.
By now, you've probably heard a lot about something called the Strategic Reform Program.
There's a lot to be said about the SRP, but don't believe everything you hear.
In this program, we'll tackle some of the stories going around about SRP and give you the facts about what they mean for you.
SRP will affect every one of us. We all know of cases where the Navy could spend money better. Now is your chance to put things right. Sure, SRP is about saving money, but why is saving money a bad thing if Navy is spending in all the wrong areas? We have to spend what we have in a smarter way. SRP is about putting money into programs and assets where it could be better used. Over time, you will start to see changes to the way Navy provides us with services. So there will be changes, but in a good way. If we make our process simpler, we are better off. We have to start treating the Navy like a family business. It's our business.
Let's face it, we are a big organisation, and in big organisations there is always waste of some sort. We've all seen examples of that, but if we can identify that waste, we can use it elsewhere. The recent Defence White Paper handed Navy an historic opportunity, but the LHDs, AWDs, new aircraft and submarines can't happen unless we find major savings. Across the ADF, we have to come up with $20 billion over 10 years. For Navy, that amounts to about $2.5 billion. Yes, there will be some civilianisation of positions, but for Navy, they'll be very limited. It costs 30% more for a service person than it does for a civilian. So we need to make sure we have our people in places where we need them most. We also have to put Navy people into positions where they are needed the most. SRP's continuous improvement program is looking at how we can better use the resources we have. We will actually end up with more people doing the right jobs where we need them and better resources if we do this right.
No one is going to cut the nutritional value of anyone's meal. But what you will see are changes to the way Navy caters, particularly ashore. At the moment, some of the messes are offering 9 choices for each meal. With, say, 3 or 4 options, Navy can cut waste and you will hardly notice a difference. You may also see a rethink in how our messes are staffed. Why do we need so many staff to serve 1 or 2 people on a weekend? Messes and wardrooms aren't used as regularly as they used to be. It's time we realised that and moved on. What other hotel offers you a room and board for the price we currently pay? The aim is not to stop you travelling, but to make you think more about whether travel is really needed. Travel costs can easily be brought down if we stop and think about the smarter ways of doing business. If you have to travel, then no one will stop you, but SRP will be looking at other methods of doing business, like video conferencing. It will mean a rethink of the way we communicate with each other across the ADF. Under SRP, you may well end up seeing Navy use more high-tech communication methods than we do now. It's all about changing attitudes and behaviour.
No, it won't. In fact, SRP has already led to improvements in medical services in some places. If you work in an area where there are several medical facilities, you may soon see those offices merging. It's just common sense. Also, as in the civilian medical system, Defence is looking at whether we need a doctor in every facility or whether a qualified nurse will do. Outsourcing some services will be necessary. The changes will see the annual health assessment you take cut from once a year to once every 3 to 5 years. But if you do have to go and see a doctor, they will still be there for you.
Not at all. In fact, New Generation Navy will help smooth the way for the changes that SRP are going to bring in. Take a closer look at NGN's signature behaviours. Each of them challenge us to rethink the way we do business. Working smarter, not harder. Being innovative and cost conscious. This is exactly what SRP is all about. The reforms brought in by NGN have given the Navy a head start as the ADF moves forward with the strategic reforms we need now.
We hope that this gives you a better idea of what's in store under the Strategic Reform Program.
As you can see, SRP is change on our terms. If we do this right, we will be able to grow Navy's future, your career along with it.
If you have any concerns or questions, contact your DO or log on to the SRP website on the intranet.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.